everyone, welcome to A Godly Home. This is the money chat video for the months of May and June. We ended up doing that Bible study last month, so that's why you're getting a double report here for May and June. Now, my husband and I doing this are noticing a pattern, which is you guys might think, well, I know what my monthly bills are, so anything over and above my monthly bills I can spend. But it's not true, because what we're noticing for a pattern is we are fluctuating to extremes between one month to the next on what we're actually needing in order to stay out of debt and pay for different things as it comes up. And that's what happens is a lot of times people will just go off of their monthly bills and there's not an emergency savings. And as things come up, they get put on a credit card. And then I know, because we've been there, you end up having stuff come up before you can pay off what you put on the credit card. And it just keeps adding. So that is why an emergency savings account is so important, because you are going to have things come up unexpected, all different types of things. And you've got to make sure that you have the money to be able to take care of that. And also you might have some expenses that aren't monthly that you don't think of, like our heat. We buy wood pellets once a year, and that has to do, and that's quite a bit of money at once when we buy them. So we're actually putting away every week towards those, so that when we go to buy them, we have the money for them. Same with like house taxes. So if you think of all those different expenses that you might know that you have that aren't like coming due monthly, people who live in town, I think they get a water bill like every 3 months, and see, you want to kind of estimate that and put the money aside monthly for that, or you can even put money aside for this stuff weekly, however you want to do it. I'm over here patting Sloopy and I'm getting her fur poofing in my face. She's laying down here next to me. So kind of think about that kind of stuff and plan ahead, and that will help out a lot. In the month of May, we were still living on less income. Things were not straightened out at the mill, and our income was reduced a lot. We actually made it through the month of May, spending the least amount of money that we have spent throughout the year so far, which was amazing. Sloopy was just laying on my papers. That's why you saw me have to adjust, and the computer was going every which way. It's kind of hard to give you guys a report if Sloopy is laying on my papers. Okay, so my monthly bills in May were the same that they normally are as far as what came due and all of that. The only thing that was different was our electric bill was $264.39, which seems ridiculously high to me, you guys. I know we're paying 32 cents a kilowatt hour, which is ridiculous, but I was hand washing laundry. I wasn't using the dryer. We weren't really having a lot of heat going, and it just seems so extreme. And then I'll give for May each individual bill, and then in June I won't repeat myself. Our insurance total for the month is $174.23, and then we put away $100 a month towards heat and $100 a month towards house taxes. We have one cell phone bill for $31.74, and the other one for $33.10. Our internet home phone package is $99.06, and our antivirus is $7 a month. So for May, our monthly bills totaled $809.52. Now, food, hygiene, household. We cut ourselves way, way back because of the income loss, and we had something else that God had asked us to do, and we just needed to cut that as low as we could possibly go. We did $400. We spent $400 even. We were very careful what we bought. Luckily, we saw some great sales coming in. We saw some great digital coupons coming in. We used rewards. We used from our stockpile at home, because why not? That's what it's stockpiled for, is those times when you need that stuff. So $400 total for that. Miscellaneous. I needed to reorder my vitamins again, and I was able to use a digital coupon, so those came to $28.59. Those do me at least 3 months. Then I have about $50 a year that I will spend on gardening stuff, and I picked up some perennial plants. I really had everything else I needed this year. I picked up some red sorrel, some orange thyme, and some lovage. And I had 2 gifts I needed to buy. I spent a total of $37.17, and that was for 2 gifts. So my total in the miscellaneous category was $103.68. And then for gas, we spent $264.47. That's gas in the pickup. And then eating out and entertainment category. I had that day out with Marissa where we went thrifting and we went for ice cream, and she took me out to Ruby Tuesday and all of that. Now, I did not track every dollar of my spending that day. Thrift store shopping and stuff, you don't really get a receipt. But I know that I had $60 saved up from my spending money in my wallet. And I didn't use quite all of that, but I don't know exactly what I used. So I have just put that down for $60. And again, $20 a week is what I get. I have been challenging myself to get more of my needs from my spending money, because I can't spend that much spending money. So I have been taking care of some of my needs out of that to kind of be able to get more money set aside for important things and less money for fun. More about that in July's video. Emergencies. We needed a washing machine part for $34.88, and we needed a pickup part for $226.49. So our emergencies for May came to $261.37. Again, donations, ministry money, that kind of stuff, I always keep private, what we give, but excluding that, we spent $1,899.04 total for the month. I am so proud of us. Even with the reduced income, that gave us money to be able to put into the savings account. Now, just to give you an idea of what we spent other months, so that you could see that fluctuation, because right here, we were pretty tight compared to what we would normally spend. You know, we cut ourselves way back, $1,899.04, but wait till you see some of the other months. December was $2,470.92. January was $2,856.32. February, $2,194.23. March, this was the worst of all, $3,039.17. That's a month that we had $1,000 in parts for the pickup. April, $1,940.24. And then, of course, May was $1,899.04. Now, if we were really tight, like even tighter than what we were, like what if we really had to scrimp in May? What if we didn't have a savings and we had to pay for those breakdowns of the washer and whatever with a reduced income? What would have we done? How would have we handled it? That's an interesting question, and we certainly have been there. We would have cut that food budget down from $400 to like $100 for the month. We would have done all meals out of what we had on hand. And when we started to run out of hygiene and household stuff, we would have made do. What does that look like? It's like you ran out of shampoo, you're now using bar soap. Making do. We would have cut that all the way down, because by doing that, that would have given us $300, and our washer part and pickup part totaled $261.37. That's what we would have had to have done. Sometimes you have to do that stuff in life. You have to get really tight, but it's still better than going into debt. And that's why when you see good sales on stuff at a good price, and you can afford it, buy a couple dish soaps. Buy, maybe not your favorite bar soap, but a cheaper one that will give you more bars so you can tuck some away. This is the kind of stuff we do. Some things we have to have certain brands on, but if there's things we don't have to have certain brands on and we can get more bang for our buck, that gives us more tucked away for emergencies. And guys, even on that vitamin order, I don't see a doctor. I take vitamins, different types of vitamins for different things that I know that's wrong with me. But I am not joking here. We have had times in the past I just have not been able to get vitamins for a month or whatever. You do what you have to, then get it after. Definitely wouldn't have splurged on perennial plants. Gift giving, I would have scrounged around the house and put together a gift that I could make out of stuff that I had and given gifts that way. There's nothing wrong with homemade gifts. So if I had done that, I would have saved $28.59 on the vitamins. I would have saved $37.92 on the perennial plants. I would have saved $37.17 on the gifts, which would have given me another $103.68 in a time of emergency. Gas, we would have cut gas way down. Like, first of all, with only spending $100 a month on groceries, if we were cutting back like that, we would have made one trip into town for the month and cut back as much as we could have on gas. Eating out and entertainment, I wouldn't have gone out with Marissa. I would have just said, this is not a good time for me, and I would have reached into my wallet and I would have pulled out that $60 that I had tucked away for myself, and I would have dropped it into the kitty to get through the next month, couple months, however long you might be going through a hard time. And that would have been another $60. Now, why am I saying all that if it wasn't that tight? Because we are seeing inflation so high right now that I know so many people are struggling seriously just to make ends meet. And I've been there. I've done that. Corey and I have worked hard to the point we don't have to quite go to that extent now. But I know how to do it. And I don't spend enough time explaining to you guys how to do it. But those are the ways. Taking a look at May, we could have dropped it way down, even with those breakdowns, to be able to stay out of debt and make sure we got by. Okay, let's take a look at June. We spent some more money in June. Our income had increased to a good pay. Corey had gotten a raise, his hours had increased, and they started to hit some of those production bonuses. So he did really well in June for what he brought in for money. Now, our electric bill was a little bit less, $245.07. And no, we have not been using the AC. Then everything else was the same as far as the monthly bills as what I just shared. So that totaled for June $790.20. Now, our food, hygiene, household, we increased that by $50 a week for the month because we had more money and we wanted to be able to eat a little better than we had been eating. More fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So we did $150 a week. We spent all of it. We spent $600 total. Then we spent a lot at the hardware for the month. We decided to do quite a few projects, and Corey replaced our outside lights with some beautiful motion activated ones to see if that wouldn't save on the electric bill, because that outside light goes on quite often and stays on because of Corey working nights and coming in after I'm in bed. And what a difference it made to the outside of the house. They look beautiful. And he gets that discount at the hardware. So all of this was discounted. He needed some tools and supplies for doing body work on the pickup. We had that beautiful commercial Speed Queen washing machine given to us, and he decided to hook that and my Maytag commercial up side by side in the basement and give me a hot water tap down there for rinsing my detergent cup and doing some cleaning in the basement, which was like the most loving thing ever to do because it makes such a difference if you have hot water in the basement. And he did some additional plumbing, and the total for all of that came to $226.10. Well, then we decided to update our lawnmower to one of those big electric lawnmowers that's self-propelled, and with his discount at the hardware, we paid $473.70 for that. Then this was unexpected. This is why it didn't go into the food section, but I ended up going into DG for a few things that I wanted extra. That wasn't regular groceries for like cooking for Father's Day. And while I was in there, I decided I need to hit that dollar aisle and stock up on some of the stuff in there that I had used, and some food items, canned goods and stuff like that. So under the miscellaneous here, I have a DG stock up haul, $110.80. And then I spent $28 out of my spending money on a couple new nightgowns and some sunglasses with reading strength in them. And so the miscellaneous category was $838.60. Now, that's more than our monthly bills that were $790.20. But we had the money, and again, we took care of some things on the house, some things on the pickup, and splurged on a new lawnmower. And because it was a good income month, it was a great opportunity to stock up on some things. Now, and I did not do, like for Corey, like a gift for Father's Day, like I normally would this year. I just got some additional groceries to be able to cook him something nice that he would want. Gas, $224.97. That's gas for the pickup. Then eating out and entertainment. Really wouldn't say that this is entertainment for the month, but on the day of my uncle's funeral, we had to be out of here at 5:30 in the morning with the pickup completely loaded with all of the food for the funeral. And we had to be there all day getting the food set up and on platters, and some of the cooking got done on that end. And so we ended up stopping in the morning for some stuff on the ride up. I don't remember what we got, but probably coffee, sodas, stuff like that. $12.44. Then on the way back, we were hungry after we cleaned up from the funeral, and we knew when we got home it was late in the evening. We had the whole pickup to unload, and a lot of those dishes got loaded into the pickup dirty, and that was all going to have to be washed on this end. So we swung into the drive-thru of McDonald's, and we got supper out for Corey, Jacob, and I. $43.01. So the total eating out for the month was just that one funeral day, $55.45, and we had 3 hours worth of driving that day, which is why we needed to eat out. Emergencies, we put $236.84 and a washing machine parts in June. Crazy, especially since we had put some on in May and some on in April. But it's all good. That washer is working fine. And now I have that other commercial one. So God is good, and it all worked out good in the end. And we got all of that education of figuring out these new washing machines, which was very important to me, because I just can't throw that stuff in the trash and say I don't know. I feel like I need to learn. So it's probably because we homeschooled. And, we live by the 4-H motto, learn by doing, which really is the best way to learn, by the way. And donation stuff is private, so our total was $2,746.06 for the month. I feel good about that. I feel like we accomplished a lot on that money. It's not the most we've spent this year, and it's not the least we've spent this year in a month, but I think we did well. I think we used it wisely and did well. So how have you guys been doing? Are you getting any in savings? Are you able to get some extra stuff taken care of over the summer when you don't have like the heating costs? Are you using your AC, or are you finding yourself cutting back on AC because things are just getting so expensive? I wish I could have done this live so we could talk, back and forth, but I know with me doing the live Testimony Thursday now at 9 a.m., it's really hard for people to get there, including me, and I feel like that's really all we can handle. It's just that one a week, so I chose not to do this one live, but leave me some comments. We can discuss it in the comments. We can discuss it in July's video, which will come out in August, about what we spent in July. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.